Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest podcast. Well, it's been quite a day, hasn't it, for Godzilla fans out there? Just a few hours ago, my phone was blowing up with messages from YouTube left and right with regards to the Godzilla 2014 teaser, the one that was released originally in the San Diego Comic-Con 2012 event, how it's been quote-unquote leaked online. Finally just gotten home. I've been able to scour and find a copy of it. It's still out there. Unfortunately, folks, I cannot and will not post a link to it here, nor can I post any images, because sure enough, the lawyers are working overtime right now with Legendary and Warner Brothers and Toho Studios, and they are shutting things down left and right. So even a snippet of an image, no matter if it's in black and white, if it's inversed, if it's saturated, it will get taken down. So I will not post anything here, but it's still out there. If you look carefully, just do a simple Google or a simple Bing search. Look for the websites that don't have the main access to them. Like what I mean is, don't go to the superhero hypes, don't go to the Bleeding Cool, don't go to the comic book resources, that kind of stuff, because those will be the first ones that'll be taken down. Instead, look for the more obscure looking websites. Probably as a recommendation, because it took me a while to find it, start going maybe pages 3, 4, and 5 on any kind of search. Just type in Godzilla teaser or Godzilla teaser 2014, and again, look for the websites that do not stand out. Instead, go for the more obscure ones, because they'll have the ones independently either uploading the YouTube video itself, or people have been converting it. Like the one I saw was at a Tiny Pic website, and people have been converting it on there, so that way people can still see it. But alright, so what's my reaction to this new teaser? The actual first footage viewed of a Godzilla movie in more than a decade's time. I must say that if I had to rank it 3 out of 4 stars, I will make it 3 stars, because it definitely lives up to all the previous talk that everything has been going on with Gareth Edwards, with all the writers, with all the producers, everybody hearkening on, quote, the biggest word in their dictionary, which is realism. It absolutely merits it. So let's talk about the good stuff. The good stuff is it is exactly like it is essentially the San Diego Comic-Con 2012 teaser. Shot for shot, image for image, everything that's been described over the past year or so, it is exactly what it was. So methinks that this teaser is indeed going to be the one released as a teaser to the general public sometime soon. So I don't know where this teaser came from. No doubt the legal lawyers are searching every IP address and probably using the NSA as well to try to find out who leaked it. But whoever did it, they had access to a full HD copy of the teaser, the one that was presented at the San Diego Comic-Con. So methinks that if it's still out there, then definitely it'll be the one that's going to be released in general public sometime soon. And what really stood out on the teaser itself was the realism. Everything regarding Gareth Edwards, again, everything they've harped on has always been realism, realism, realism. And you see shots that look like something you would see on CNN footage, something you would see in terms of a large mass destruction that just occurred in a city. Those type of shots you would see there. And I'm talking like the helicopter shots. Let's say something happens, there's a hurricane that hits a town by the beach, the helicopter is moving around. Those are the kind of shots you see, and they looked beautiful. You even see for the shot that the very, 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 very first image that was ever leaked, the one with that lonely guy standing on top of the rubble of a building looking out over the distance at the destruction, that's from the teaser, that's from this trailer. So it's interesting to see that something that was created and that we saw probably about 2 years ago, it's still in that teaser. It hasn't been changed one iota. Now again, going back to the realism factor, the reason why it's so important to this film is because you instantly think that it's not going to have any of that kiddie stuff, none of the goofball stuff that was within the Godzilla 1998 film. If their task, legendary Garfield and Company, was to create the most opposite movie of the Godzilla 1998 film, this certainly has it. So, and the graphics and the CGI itself, yeah, maybe it was the conversion, but it looked like it was still a work in process. But what we got to see at least contained some beautiful shots. Sure enough, there was a shot of the mass destruction and what looked to be, I think was it people that were just on the beach dead, at least from what I could tell. That looked to be like that. And then also there was the aforementioned Oppenheimer quote where he's talking about the creation of the atomic bomb, but here we have him, and it's using as a metaphor for the release of these monsters, and of course Godzilla. And yeah, those are people. I just was viewing it right now. Something killed all those people on the beach from a train, it looks like, en masse. It looks like a mass suicide of some sort almost. And sure enough, that whatever that is, again, has a pretty powerful effect. I don't think it's Godzilla, but I think it was that centipede monster, which goes back now to the centipede. Absolutely, this was the monster that everybody talked about with regards to the original teaser at the San Diego Comic-Con. Here it is in full glory. You don't see anything as far as its head, but you do see its appendages, and those appendages look like a centipede, but blown up a million times bigger. And it's toppled over. There's a really, really cool shot, absolutely amazing shot of one of the buildings that looks like just said hello and welcome to Godzilla as Godzilla ran right through it. It harkens back to the shot of the MetLife building within the Godzilla 1998 film. Very, very interesting that such a similar shot would be within this new movie, because again, you would think that they would want to disassociate themselves from the 1998 film, but no, here it is as well. And as the camera pans next to it, you see that there's even more buildings in the far background that have been destroyed, again leading to the conclusion that there's going to be a really, really cool shot, something that's going to be so amazing to see on the screen, of either Godzilla or one of the other monsters charging straight through buildings altogether. I cannot wait to see something like that, because that is the type of destruction that us Godzilla fans have been waiting for a long, long time. And then everything leads to the ultimate shot, which is the reveal of Godzilla himself. This is why I give it again 3 instead of 4 stars. 1 is because it's missing a star, because that reveal, quote-unquote reveal of Godzilla, is so heavily shrouded. It is absolutely, it's hard to make out anything within that shot. I think I see an arm of some sort. Luckily, it looks like Godzilla does not have T-Rex type arms. Instead, he actually has human-like arms almost, because there's a very, very brief, and again, it's hard to discern because of the debris within the shot itself, but it looks like Godzilla's fist is actually flexing in and out. So, and the arm and the wrist and the length of the arm, again, makes it look like it's almost human in terms of the size and the proportion. So again, none of the tiny arms that Godzilla had within some of the other movies. Instead, his arms look to be much larger instead. And you do see the dorsal fins, the classic dorsal fins that are within the design, anybody that we would expect how Godzilla would look like. And it all leads to the shot, that one image that has now become almost infamous within the Godzilla franchise, that shroudy image of Godzilla looking to our left, side panel shot, as through the gaze of the destruction of this rubble, all this dust that's around him, he's opening his mouth to roar. Now, regarding the actual roar, it's actually quite cool, because in this teaser you do hear his roar twice, and the first time it blew me out of surprise, because here you have Oppenheimer, who's talking in very, very dramatic prose. All of a sudden it gets quiet and silent, and I had my speakers on loud because I wanted to make sure that I could listen to the glory of this teaser as best as possible. And then Godzilla's shriek just pounces the stereo, so it caught me by surprise. And you hear one more time within that classic image that we all know, again, of the side shot of Godzilla through the dust, and you hear him at the end of the teaser bellowing that shriek. That caught me by surprise too, because and not because of a shock, but because of how different the scream sounds. It actually sounds like a scream, not like a roar. It's no longer the classic Godzilla roar that me and you know about from the ages. I mean, even the 1998 film used probably about 80% of the classic roar, with just a little bit of the computer work making it a little bit more distorted. But here, the roar is shortened. It's shortened to a shriek, like a brief burst of a shriek, followed by, I guess you could call it a ripple shriek. So he screams, pauses, and then you hear a second scream again. I don't know quite what to make of it yet, because I don't know, again, if this is going to be the official Godzilla scream / roar for the movie. But from what I understand here, and I'm surprised that nobody else talked about this whenever the original 2012 San Diego Comic-Con teaser, people were talking about it during its release, because people were saying that the roar is the classic one, but I don't recall anybody saying that it sounded so different. Maybe the way I'm hearing it is wrong, but it sure does sound probably like 50% new and 50% different than the original classic Godzilla roar that me and you all know. So that's why I gave it 3 out of 4 stars, because again, you don't see squat when it comes to Godzilla, just a shadow, but you do see more of the entire teaser. But the roar itself sounds completely different. I don't know yet. I don't know if I like it so much just yet. But if it is going to be it, I'm sure I'll grow into it. But otherwise, very, very, very cool teaser. Again, it is out there still. You have to look for it. They're making you work. You're like a rat in a maze when it comes to Legendary Pictures and Toho Studios and Warner Brothers and team and everybody. So again, look not for the main websites. If you see a link like from MTV, ignore it. It's going to already be removed. Instead, go for the more obscure ones. Go to pages 7, 8, 9, 10 in your search automatically, and then you'll see the more obscure websites, and that's where people will have it on there. So, alright everybody, big day. Catch it while you still can. It's still out there. My opinion again is that it's a pretty cool teaser. 3 out of 4 stars. I love it. It's going to be something that just geeks me out and gets me so looking forward to the rest. And it's hard to believe this is the first footage in almost like 15 years, over 15 years with regards to the Godzilla movie, as far as new footage. And it's hard to believe that it's going to be in theaters next year. So cool. Alright everybody, after you've seen it, post your comments below, share with everybody. What'd you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it everything you believed it would be? Was it the worst thing possible? Post your comments below. Share them with everybody. Take care. Bye.